Hey guys, Lanesh Devotee here with round one of the alignment wheel octagon tournament. So in this, you only get to play each faction once, and should you get to the finals, you will have played each faction exactly once. So my first choice has been to go with Talyesin from the Eldar faction, and I'm just looking over my opening hand. And I'm up against Anrakyr from the Necrons, played by Maximus Stanley. Good guy, like him. It's good fun to play, and he helped me commentate a game that turned up on tracksector.com if you want to go and have a look for that. So I decided in the end that I was going to keep this because I thought, well, I've got a couple of cheap command-ish sort of units. So Talyesin gives a bonus hit point to each Psyker and Warrior at her planet, and if they are both there, they get a bonus attack. Anrakyr is able to deploy the top unit from a discard pile, so that can be his opponents as well. Looking through the planets, we've got a few reds and blues. What do we got? Win condition for blue by planet 4, green by planet 3, and red by planet 4. So there's a lot of options on the table here. Platinum on planet 1 is always an interesting starter, because whatever you put there, if you win, can get shuffled over to be ready for something else. It really can support something quite hard-hitting, because you tend to be able to threaten the opposing warlord with it, or whatever you might like to do. Alright, so I have initiative, and I'm going to start with my odd little choice of the treacherous Lamian. So she is a 2-cost no command unit. She has 4 attack and 1 hit point, but when she's controlled by a non-Dark Eldar warlord such as me, she gains armor bane. But she does, when she's destroyed, she forces another army unit at the planet to be sacrificed to be destroyed. So that's she's a dangerous little thing, but I thought she's strong enough to threaten that first planet because I'll have the initiative. He followed up with an STC fragment to reduce the cost of an elite by 2, and he drops out a Dread Monolith, which is a heck of a first turn play. That's everything he's got. So the Monolith is an 8-cost, 5 command elite vehicle. It has 5 attack and 7 hit points, and it has an action where basically you draw 3 cards from your deck and you're able to put in a Necron unit at the planet of the Monolith. No restriction, as long no non-vehicle unit. So there's a lot of options there. I've put out a Bealtan Guardians and an Incubus Warrior down the line a bit. Both of them 2 command hammer units, so they're good solid commands for me to have out there. The Bealtans are a 1-cost, the Incubus Warriors are a 2-cost, but that's kind of all you need to know about them at the moment. So I'm trying to spread wide and collect in a fair bit of income, basically. And so now I'm looking at Path of the Leader, which gives me a few options. It's a bit flexible, and I'm thinking about what do I actually want to put out as well as what I've currently got out. I don't think I can win Planet 1, which means the Monolith is going to be able to move because it's Planum, and that's concerning. So I decide I'm going to use my Path of the Leader as an action to give me +1 resource, which is going to allow me to deploy my signature unit, the Talyesin Warlocks, and I'll just put them onto Planet 2. They're a 3-cost, 1 command, 3 attack, 2 hit point army unit, and I can discard a warrior to ready them. So theoretically they can keep readying and cause some damage, but I basically did that because I wanted to maximize the amount of command struggles I was winning. I wanted to get some flowing in. I've decided to go to Planet 1, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what I chose, because I want to see if I can cover the Monolith, because my warlord will automatically beat his 5 command hammers, and that would be good to stop him getting that. And I'm thinking with initiative and armor bane, I can do some good damage to him. Okay, so we're going to see where Anrakyr goes. He's probably going to stop my command at 2, 3, or 4, but he might come to cause some more damage at Planet 1 as well. So let's see what he does. He didn't change his servo skull, interestingly enough. there we go, he has chosen where to commit. So, let's see where we end up. And he is going to planet 3. Of course, so that would be Taurus, where he's hoping to get a bonus out of having less units than I. Fair enough. But I get 2 cards and 3 resources, and he gets 1 card and 1 resource, so that's a reasonable exchange, I guess. Pulled a Flayed Skull Slaver, which should help me get a little bit of economy going. There's plenty of red planets out here, I think. Yep, plenty of red planets, so that'll be good. Alright, so we get to battle at Planum. I have no actions that I can use. A Mind War would have been wonderful, but I have no Psychers and no non-elites to use it on. So I have no action, but he does, so he's going to use his Dread Monolith. So what it does as a combat action is it allows you to, I think it's discard the top 3 cards of your deck, and then put into play at the same planet a non-vehicle Necron army unit. So let's see what he finds. There we go. Pyrrhian Eternals, Rogue Traders, Rogue Traders. So his only choice is the Pyrrhian Eternals. He may as well throw them onto the planet. There we go. Pyrrhian Eternals hit the table. So they're Anrakyr's signature unit. 2 cost, 1 command, 1 attack, 1 hit point. Clearly well underpowered for the cost. But the benefit they have is that for every card named Pyrrhian Eternals in your discard pile, they gain +1 attack and +1 hit point. He's unusual. He's got 5 signature units in his signature squad, which is really cool. So potentially they can be a 2 cost, 1 command, 5/5, which is obviously quite impressive. And if they're all at the same planet, the more you kill, the more powerful the remaining ones become, which is a really neat idea. Alright, this is me just realizing I thought I was adding +1 attack to my warrior, but actually if there's no Psyker there, it's only +1 hit point. As you'll see here, I'm saying it's a 5, but actually that's a swing of 4 armor bane, which is noticeably less than I expected. I was actually thinking if I can shield my warlord, I don't even mind almost if I get bloodied, because the economy hit of him losing his dreadnought so quickly, I feel like would be worth, you know, taking it out with the armor bane, and depending on whether or not he tried to kill the Lamian, the treacherous Lamian by itself, and then my warlord would be unharmed. You know, I was doing all that sort of math, but actually it all just kind of fell apart on me. What I'm saying is basically it pays to learn what your cards do. This is why it's helpful to play a deck quite often. I haven't played Talyesin in a long time, and in fact I think the last time I played her I had quite a different deck setup than I'm running right now. I might need to go back and have a tweak and try and make a new Talyesin deck. But in the meantime, this is the first round of an alignment wheel tournament, so nothing's going to happen. Reanimation Protocol, 0 cost event that removes 2 damage from a Necron unit. It's just that simple. It's just that good. See, I was thinking, my warlord attack, I'm vulnerable, but if I can kill that monolith would be awesome. That's basically what I was hoping for. But it wasn't to be. He does kill the Lamian at least, which means my warlord isn't hurt. But at this point there's really no point for me to stick around, so I just get out. Unfortunately, that means he's got the ability to trigger Planum with his monolith, which is painful. That's rough. That's really rough for me. So he's got a blue and a green icon. That gives him some pretty solid options in the next few planets, but we'll see what what we can do. He has no action, I have nothing to do for those Guardians. And there they go. Which is fine by me, you can now have that planet. But if you do that maths, he's got 3 units, I've got 3 units. If he hadn't triggered the monolith, he would have been able to trigger. But I might have been able to win that planet, maybe? Maybe. I don't think it would have made that much of a difference, actually. But, so that worked out poorly, really. Not ideal. Not as terrible as it possibly could have been, but not a great first turn. Oh, wrong button. End turn. There we go. Alright, new turn. We've got a few more options. Good shield, which is nice. I was trying to think, what unit could I attach it to? I have got Dire Avenger Exarchs in my deck, which is to protect my ward, let her stick around at the planet longer and get her effect longer. But, of course, if I put it on her and she becomes a warrior, then they are useless to protect. Living Metal, one of the Black Crusade expansion cards. 0 cost support. Reaction after a Necron unit is assigned damage. Sacrifice the support to prevent up to 5 of that damage. Which really hurts for me. So now here I think this is one of my major mistakes. I played the Slaver as if I wanted it to be just an economy unit. I was like, I'm just going to put it down the line and get myself a ton of resources. But really, I should have put it to Planet 2 or even Planet 1 and sent my Warlord to Planet 1. Because it would have been a warrior and a psyker. It's still a red planet, and the Flayed Skull Slaver, it can't just be used as a resource booster unit. You know, I have to use it for its stats because it's not worth it cost-wise otherwise. I often run them in Archon Slain Morn as a 2 cost, and even there I need them to be a fighter. I sometimes put them in with Vashalur as a bit of a boost to being able to afford the elites, and even there I need to be able to fight with them. So I think that was a huge misplay on my part. I think that's a massive mistake. Okay, so he's going to trigger Anrakyr's ability, so he's pulling a unit off a discard pile. I assumed he was going to take mine, the Battletane Guardian, 1 cost, 2 command hammers. It's a pretty good choice for him. I'm not sure if he's wanting that or off his own discard pile though, actually. I've seen a lot of people, yeah, he's taking my discard pile, so there you go. A lot of people say that Anrakyr has the ability to play a much bigger set of units because he has the ability to steal these command type units from his enemy, and you know, that's a very valid way of doing it, I guess. So there we go, he's beating my command. Now if I'd put that down on planet 1 or 2, his command unit wouldn't have made a big difference into the battle, but right now it really just makes those 3 resources that I just spent completely pointless. Oh yeah, and apparently you can adjust your opponent's resources. So he accidentally was on the wrong screen and adjusted mine, but that's alright. And see, here I make the exact same mistake again, I think. Yeah, I pick up another Slaver, and again I put it way down the line where it shouldn't be. It should be on planet 1 or planet 2. In fact, both of them on planet 2 I think probably would have been pretty decent. And that would have been the opportunity for me to back it up and definitely get the resources, or it would have been a bit of a, not trap, but if he had gone there with Anrakyr, it might have been a bit trickier for him to justify that commitment, knowing that these 2 units are going to be able to swing back and cause some damage to Anrakyr. And he brings out Harbinger of Eternity, which is a fantastic Necron unit, 5 cost elite, 3 command, which is great, 3 attack, 5 hit points, and you can take out Necron events from your discard pile and use them, and then they're removed from the game. So you get 2 effects out of every Necron event, and it's just a really good unit. It's really solid elite, good command, so you can outdo my Incubus Warrior. Really solid choice there. So I've decided to go to Planet 1, and my thought there is that I want to stop the monolith getting its command, and I want to try and destroy it if I possibly can. It does mean I'm losing command down the line on quite a few different planets, and if I looked closer at what Anrakyr had with his little Pyrrhian Eternals riding along, it would be absolutely justifiable for him to go and drop them down against my second Flayed Skull Slaver. So yeah, we'll have to see what he does. He's chosen an area, yep, and he's happy with his commitment. So let's see what he's got. I'm going to Planet 1, and he is also going to Planet 1. So he beats me on command in 3 out of 4 planets, which he was always likely to do, and he's backing up his monolith, which is massive. So yeah, I think I drastically misplayed those slavers. But I do manage to pull a Ulthway Spirit Stone. I think this might have been a slightly older deck of Talyesin that I was playing with, using things like Webway Passage, Craftworld Gate, Spirit Stone to sort of maximize the use of my warriors. I think I did include the Deep Strike Eldar event, which allows you to ambush units from your hand during a battle. So my idea was, you know, I could pull damaged units back to hand and drop them back in. I could let them die and then with the Spirit Stone drop them back in, and that works relatively well when I've got a really good command and I can get plenty of resources and plenty of cards rolling through, so I've got all these options, but I've let him sort of take away my command far too easily. I might need to rethink this deck if I want to use it again. Alright, so we're on to the battle at Planet 1. Straight away, I don't think I've got many good options here. I do have a 3 shield card, which is helpful. Tricky. I do have a Gift of Isha, but I don't think it's going to be that useful in this particular case. Stam's just having a little bit of trouble. Octagon having a little bit of a glitch. So, what's he up to? Something going wrong with my typing there. Just say it. He's triggering a monolith. Yeah, of course. And that's, again, a thing that I haven't really taken into account with my mental arithmetic. So he throws a Toon Stalker, Living Metal, and Revitalize. So the Toon Stalker is a non-vehicle, so we can throw that to the battle. And wait a second, it'll pop up and I'll explain what it can do. The Dread Monolith is pretty potent. So another 5-cost elite, only 1 command, but 2 attacks, 7 hit points, and every time it attacks, it removes a damage off it. So you have to hit it big, or it's just going to kind of sit there. Yeah, that's really tricky to deal with. So here I'm looking at the I'm looking over all the things on the table here, and just not sure what I'm going to do about them. Okay, he's also using another action for the Harbinger of Eternity, so he's going to pull a card from his discard pile, pull an event and use that, and Reanimation Protocol again, another 2 damage off the Dread Monolith. That combination of the Harbinger and the Reanimation Protocol is just impressive. I think the Harbinger is a really interesting card because it's a 5-cost elite. He did manage to put it out with for 3 with his STC, but even so, I've seen people quite happily spend that 5 to put it somewhere further down the line, even though it's got this huge body that they're not necessarily paying for. Just the command and the ability to reuse those events is fantastic. You know, it's really hard to go past that. So he heals the monolith, and I'm pretty much thinking, well, that's no good for me. I'm just going to have to go. He makes a good point. He was waiting to check if I was nullifying, which is a very good thing to do against Eldar. I always forget when I'm playing against an Eldar player that I need to see if nullify is going to happen. But no nullify for me this time. Then he plays Revitalize, another Black Crusade expansion card, 2 shields, 1 cost. After a Necron unit removes a damage, it gains +1 attack and Armor Bane, if I read that fleetingly quickly. So now the monolith is hitting for 5 with Armor Bane on initiative, which is impressive. So that Revitalizes is a really good one. Excuse me. So I think we've seen all 3 of the Black Crusade cards turn up. We had Living Metal as the support waiting over in the back there, which is going to negate almost anything I do. Revitalize bumps them up, and I can't remember what the other one was. Raid the Grave, I think it was. Oh, sorry, it goes up to 6 Armor Bane. It was already 5. So, bloodies Talyesin, just like that. Just instantly. And what am I going to do? I can't do just about anything now. So I figure I might as well go for Anrakyr. I'm not going to do much to any of these units. He can redeploy them if he wants, if I put the Purian Eternals into the discard. And actually, they're better being in the discard for him. It makes any others in his hand more efficient, more cost-effective. So I'll just swing at Anrakyr and hope for the best. Oh, that was a rough turn, and I can't say anything other than I think I drastically misplayed how I wanted to be going against Anrakyr here. Alright, so he has the option to trigger, which, yep, I thought he would, so I put in Autarch Salakia, 4-cost unique Eldar unit. The Autarch is available, it is able to pay a resource and take on a few different abilities. I think Mobile, Armor Bane, and Area Effect 1 are the abilities. And he uses it to put in a Lichguard Sentinel. While there are 6 units in his discard pile, it gains +4 hit points. So it becomes a 10 hit point unit. I think it's to attack, but the thing is, while it's ready, it must be declared as a defender. So it's a great way of focusing attacks and restricting your opponent's choices during a battle. It won't be ready when it comes into the next combat, but still. So I got a Shuriken Catapult and another Gift of Isha, which are nice. Still got the Spirit Stone, shields, and a Mind War. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I figured the Gift of Ishas are good in Talyesin because they allow me to bring back a Psyker to a planet with a warrior, those sorts of abilities. That's what I'm sort of looking for there, but I'm running out of things I can do here. He's got 2 green and 2 blue icons now. The next planet will give him a 3rd green, and he has got 3 elites that he is bringing to that battle. Not readied, but potentially. He's got Living Metal still on the table, waiting to negate an attack of mine. I have no units to play, no events that are relevant. I really would have liked to have Doom right now. I know I've got at least one in this deck, and absolutely, in the current sort of state of things, having Doom, if you're an Eldar player, or a Dark Eldar, or a Tau, is not a bad call at all. It would have been perfect for me, really, because I have 2 uniques, and so I wouldn't have lost my Autarch, and I wouldn't have lost my Warlord. Obviously, you don't lose your Warlord. So, all done. Yeah, and he doesn't believe it, but yep, I've got nothing here that I can do. And so... sorry, the rain's picked up behind me, so if you're getting a bit of a noise from the rain, I'm sorry about that, but hopefully it won't be too much. So we're waiting to see if he wants to pull something out. He's got enough resources in an SDC to throw another massive elite, or even two, maybe even. See what he's got. So he drops out a rogue trader and just uses it to cancel my resources, which is fine. He picked that up out of his discard pile. I've got nothing else again, so he's free to pull out a few more options. Just thinking it through. If I were him, I'd just put the biggest thing I can on planet 1 and just try and bully that final planet. Yep, so there we go with the STC. And he's dropping another Lich Guard Sentinel, which he pops down planet 1. There we go. So there we are. While you have 6 more units in discard, opponent must declare Sentinel as a defender. Alright. So we're pretty much about to wrap this up. I'm sure you can see how it's going, but let's just get to the end of this and finish off. He's going for broke. He plays a Recycle, which is a 1-cost event that allows you to discard 2 cards and then draw 3, so you basically clean up 3 cards out of your hand. He's clearly thinking through what he's going to get rid of. Throws an extra STC that he doesn't need. Throws a Canoptic Spider that he's not going to be able to afford anymore. And another Canoptic Spider. Oh no, it's the 2 discards and the Recycle, and then he draws 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So he's got his new cards. And he puts a Resurrection Orb onto the Lich Guard. So what that does, it's a 2-cost attachment. It has to go on an Elite Necron. After a combat round begins, if the top card in the discard pile is a non-Elite Necron, you can put it into play at the planet. And so I ask the obvious question, does he have any non-Elite Necron units in this deck? Just the spiders, I think. So let's get to the end of this. See, I don't know if it's a policy per se. I don't like calling a game early, even when it's something as obvious as this. I just can't see a way through it with the options that I have in this particular case. So I like to get to the end and actually see, will he kill my Warlord? Will he just beat me on the planet? You know, what will it be? Oh, he goes to planet 2. So he's playing the long game, the safe game. If at all necessary, he's got planet 2 as an option for his 3rd blue if I do manage to do something and win planet 1. Alright, so I win command there. Hurrah! Let's see. So I do have some options here. I can Gift of Isha, I can Shuriken Catapult, I can do a couple of things, and I might be able to win planet 1, which is impressive. Suddenly I'm like, oh, if he'd gone to planet 1 with that huge amount of people, though, I'd have been doomed. Alright. Okay, well, in that case I may as well see if I can win. So I'm probably going to use the Shuriken Catapult to try and hit this thing as hard as I can. I have no action. I don't think. Yeah, no, I'm going to wait. Because I'm sure he's going to kill something and then I can hit it after, you know. It's going to trigger his Resurrection Orb. And it says the topmost card is a unit, not the topmost unit, but it was put there from the recycle, so it should have been there. Although I point out that he's not quite right, and we have a little bit of a discussion about it, but really he should have put it there. Recycle should have been resolved and put in, and then, or at least, I don't know what the order should be. Maybe the recycle stays out of his deck until he's put the STC in the Canoptic, and then the recycle goes in. I'm not sure how it all goes in, what the order is supposed to be. So we're just talking through exactly what was it supposed to be, and really, I don't mind. He can have the spider. It probably should be there. I've got, nothing to say while we finish this, but now that it's started, I feel like if I jump cut, it'll look really weird, so I'm just going to kind of let it play through. He's saying let's go. I'm saying you can have the spider. I think we move on without the spider, but let's get on with it. Okay. Alright. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. For some reason I thought the Canoptic spider was like 5 lower in the discard pile, but it doesn't matter. So no actions. Okay. Swing with the Autark. Let's do a quick simple 3 points of damage. Is he going to shield that? Taking a little while to decide. He takes the damage. Doesn't use his living metal, doesn't use a shield, just lets it hit. So that's fine, I'm good with that. Still no actions from me. Okay, and he's going to swing at my Warlord, obviously. Bloodied Warlord, you want to ping that as much as you can. I'm just going to stop 1 point of damage. I want to save the Gift of Issues because I feel like I'm going to need to maximize my units on the board. So just take the 1, at which point he heals his unit, which is frustrating. That's fine, that's fine. Alright, so put another 2 damage on. Might shield those. No, it takes both damage there. Okay. Alright, so hurting the Necrons is really frustrating. It doesn't really happen very quickly. Alright, so we're ready, and I'm going to stick around. I'll stick around for at least 1 more turn. I feel like I'll use the Shuriken Catapult at the point when I know it will mean he has to die, or use up his living metal. Alright, so he's considering staying. He's not decided yet, he's thinking it through. I don't think he can win. Oh, well, he doesn't know that, because he doesn't know I have the Gift of Issues and things, but he's probably trying to think about whether or not, what are the chances that I've got them. You know, I've only gone through about 13, maybe 14 cards in my deck. It's a really poor draw I've had this time. And it looks like he's going to retreat. He retreats. I get to keep the planet, so I'm going to trigger, and I'm going to go for cards. I need some better options. Okay, it's cool. No, not really. No, these are not great. Archon's Terror could be very useful, but the amount of fight I'm going to have to put up to be able to stop all this is just, just harsh. He's using this Dread Monolith. I mean, he may as well. Maybe I should have tried to Terror that as soon as I could, although, yeah, because there should be an action window between the combats, the battles, where I would have initiative. So if I'd have Archon's Terrored the Monolith then, it would have knocked it off the planet and he wouldn't have been able to bring anything in. He brings in a free Harbinger of Eternity. That's so many giant robots. It's a Transformers battle. This is crazy. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I cannot think what I'm going to be able to do to stop all these guys. It's a massive tide. Okay, it's going to swing with something. And I suppose... No, I know he's got at least one more reanimation in the discard pile that he can use. It's almost pointless saving the Incubus to cause some damage to something, because he's just going to be able to heal it pretty much straight away. So just let it die. There it goes. Bye-bye, Incubi. Alright. And he's able to trigger another planet. I'm thinking probably Aatrox, but maybe Iridial. Elwith seems unlikely. I don't think he'll bother with Elwith at this stage. And he's triggering... What is he triggering? The Rogue Trader. That seems wrong. I'm assuming he means Iridial. Trying to see what he meant by that. Iridial. Yeah, there we go. That's cool. And he's healing up his Warlord. Sure. Why not? Doesn't make a big difference. So if I'd have swung on the Warlord, he could have reanimation protocol. He could have shielded something. I'm sure he's got at least the one shield in there. And then he could have healed it all up anyway. Just terrible options for me. Now I pull a Doom. There's my Doom. Oh, one turn earlier would have made a huge difference with that. And I'm looking over there and thinking, well, I can kill the Leash Guard, but it's not really much of a thing. I've got the Dire Avenger Exarch, which I definitely am going to put down, but not many options. I can gift the Avenger in a couple of times, which is nice. I've got the Archon's Terror, which is nice. I could put the Samhain jet bike onto one of the slavers and bring them over, maybe. I have got a Shuriken Catapult, which is good. Yeah, I've got a couple of options, but not many. And I have to think about how many resources I actually have. So, alright, let's go. He's first. He's taking my Incubus Warrior, throwing them down on a planet to get some command in. Alright, simple and straightforward. Trying to do some maths in my head here, trying to make sure I'm going to be able to afford as much as possible. I want to save the Doom until the next turn if I possibly can. If I can, well, no, if I'm going to win this planet, I have to have killed everything, so Doom's irrelevant. And get another resource out of the Path of the Leader, which might be just enough to use an extra action of some sort. So that might be good there. I'm thinking the jet bike's going to need to be the 2 shields. The support is effectively useless right now. Alright, Dire Avenger goes down. He goes with a Royal Phylactery. It's a very interesting attachment of the Necrons there. 2 cost, and at the beginning of, I think it's a phase and a combat round, you remove 1 damage. So it just keeps stripping the damage off. And at that point I decided he's invested enough into that. Sorry, 1 cost for the Phylactery. But he's put a bunch of attachments. It's a very nasty unit with a whole bunch of stuff attached to it. So I may as well hit Doom. I was going to save that for a couple of gifts and a shuriken catapult and stuff, but actually it's going to be such a pain to kill that thing that this is probably the more efficient way to deal with it. Yeah, so I'll at least get that. He liked that, which, yeah, it was nice. 1 turn earlier would have been better, but, you know. Yeah, I was hoping to hold him off planet 1. It wasn't going to. That was never going to happen. But with all those attachments, I was getting concerned. Yeah. So he recycles again, dropping 2 cards. So he drops a Parian Eternals, really good to fuel the Eternals he has out, that makes them stronger. Dropping an Immortal Legion, which is fine. Can't afford it anyway at this point, so dropping it's a good call. And draws 3 new cards. I like Recycle, it's a really nice card for the Necrons. Simple but effective. Alright, let's see what he does next. Oh no, it's me again actually, isn't it? Well, I don't think I've got anything I'm going to be doing. I think that's going to be me. Yep, see I'm done. And anything else to finish off his deployment. It's got a lot to think about. I mean, having that many elites on a planet, it's really tricky. You're not sure if you're going to be able to do much with it. No, he's done. He's got nothing else. Alright, so he's choosing his destination. He's presumably going to planet 1 just because, but I mean, maybe he'll go right down the end of the line or something, potentially. And then when I start paying attention again, I will set my dial. Although I might not even bother on this one, I might just throw my guy onto the planet. There we are. I am setting my service goal. Look at me, following the rules. That's nice of me. And there we go. Cool. So I'm going to planet 1 because I need to try and do something. Although I can't think of much that I can do. And he does come to this planet, so he's going to keep himself his initiative, which is a good call, I think. Good idea. He wins all this command. Yeah, which doesn't help things. Doesn't make it any easier on me. Alright. So... oh, targets the Dread Monolith, beginning the way he intends to continue, by just smothering me with giant robots. And he scores himself another Parian Eternals. That's his only choice there. So there we go. Throw the Parian Eternals out. So they're both 2/2s, and if I kill one, it becomes a 3/3. The other one becomes 3/3. I'm going to Archon's Terror the Monolith, because I don't want it to hunt my Warlord, assassinate my Warlord. So Archon's Terror, get that out of the way. So I don't think anything else can one-hit punch my Warlord. I do have Gift of Isha, but only the once now, because I used Doom earlier and stuff like that. But I can at least Gift of Isha once. So, what's he going to do for his first attack? Yep, each tunnel, 2/2, yep. Alright, and he swings at the Dire Avenger Exarch, because he has to swing at a warrior with the Harbinger. So, I have got a few different shields that are available to me at the moment, because I'm only going to have one event or anything that I'm going to be able to play. So I shield everything with my 3 shield. Keep that Exarch around as long as possible. Okay, I swing at the Lich Guard, and Reanimation Protocol comes out to negate that. Cry, I mean, ugh. It's going to play an event. Don't know what event, but it's going to play an event. Revitalize. Oh, yes. So, bonus attack and armor bane. Great. Alright, so that revitalized Lich Guard is going to swing at the Exarch. Which doesn't quite kill it, but oof, does some serious damage. There's not much else to say about this game as I continue it. Sorry, I'm just kind of going through the motions, finishing it off. Get to the end as quick as we can. So I hit the Leash Guard, because I might as well, even though it's supposed to not be ready, it's supposed to be exhausted. But still, that's fine, doesn't make a huge difference. The Harbinger swings at my Exarch, which kills it. I just want to make sure yep, there we go, he's done. So, Gift of Isha and plop it straight back down. Perfect, lovely. I like to put the Gift of Isha under the cards that have come back because of the Gift of Isha. I always feel like it's a good idea as a reminder that this unit needs to actually die at the end of the combat phase, because that's the rule for Gift of Isha. So, swinging again. This time, Raid the Grave, the other Black Crusade cards, are used to protect them slightly. Now, I think he's already attacked with the Lich Guard. I think he forgot to exhaust it earlier. Because he's already done armor bane damage. Yeah, so I'm just checking in case I missed something. There were a couple of events and I wasn't paying a lot of attention while I was playing this game. So perhaps I missed something. Can't find anything in there. So now that I'm not thinking I'm crazy, I'm just checking. He was supposed to be exhausted, wasn't he? You know. Hopefully I didn't sound too petty or frustrating to Stanley there. But no, he just forgot, so I wasn't crazy, which is always a little bit of a running concern. Okay. Just having a bit of banter there. Strolling along, strolling along. There we go, swinging with the Eternals. So I believe just swinging for 2. And so I block for 2 with the same hand check bike. I'm going to really make him work for this. Okay, the other Period Eternals, that's another 2. I'm going to go for blocking 1. Just going to make it last as long as possible. And the Tombstalker gives it a go. Shield there, so taking a long time to come through, which I'm sure he's aware of. Anrakyr kills it off for the 2nd time, and now I can no longer afford... Oh, actually perfect timing, isn't it? Yep, Pact of the Leader, +1 resource, and then wait for him. Does he have a action that he wants to use? Any of those cards and events in his discard pile that he wants to reuse? He doesn't actually do an action, he says gift, and yep, it is gift time, baby. Kill the Avenger. Again. Right, and I think that's all my tricks. So this is about as far as I'm going to get. Royal Phylactery used to shield against my Dire Avenger Exarch, and I don't think it's going to go particularly well here. I was able to sort of survive quite a bit of stuff coming in, but I just can't seem to dish it out in big enough amounts for all these big giant robots to really sit up and take notice. Just very frustrating. Alright, checking for last actions. No. So I've readied all of mine. Readied all of his. Although he's got a couple of cards that are playing up for him. What is it? The Revitalized, which actually I believe that can go. I think that only lasts for 1 attack. Well, I may be wrong, it might be until the end of the phase. So in the interests of speed, I'm just saying, you know, I have no more actions, so you don't need to wait for me. I can't do anything else. And so it's okay, and hopefully he should play something now. Okay, so he swings with the Sentinel, which hurts. I better hit back before I get many other problems. So I hit back with that Sentinel. And he shields it. Yeah, I'm not pushing out nearly enough damage. Those 2 Fleet Skull Slavers really felt like a huge waste of resources now that I'm looking at them. So, some major misplays, but also a deck that just isn't really optimized for taking on this many elites. So they killed the Exarch, the Autarch's having a go, but blocked by the Parian Warzai, a 3 shield attachment of Anrakyr. He's already forgotten that I said I have no actions. It's fine, go for it, go, go, go. Harbinger hitting on my Warlord. Now, yeah, I decide to retreat because I don't want to give him the assassination just that easily. But really, he's just as likely to win now. Tombstalker takes a swing. And then this should probably finish it off. No actions from either of us. Period Eternals for 2. That does it. That's enough. And there we go. Alright, that's the first game for the alignment wheel. Didn't go too well. Tune back in next time, and, well, maybe not this next time, but I'll try and get another alignment game up, and you can have a guess at who do you think I'm going to play next faction. I hope you enjoyed. As always, leave some comments, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.